He's my son. I deserve to know what's going on.
I don't. I am sorry. But the prosecution is still examining his body. We will release his remains to you as soon as we can.
You. I remember you. Please, you have to tell me what's going on. My son never came home. And now they tell me he's... They won't even let me see him. What happened to my boy? Ifre's mercy. How could you? Why didn't you save him? Damn this place. Damn the prosecution. Here, take this thing. I found it under Kellan's bed. I never want to see it again. I never want to see you again. God's help me.
A hard thing to witness. There are rarely any happy endings in this line of work. You just have to remember that things would be much worse had you not been here. That matters.
I hope to be done here soon.
Ah, this one has been looking for you. Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arteum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ugh, that made Raz's head hurt. Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra or their cultists. And this revelation brings you to Relenthiel, yes? That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canonry Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
None were more loved than Arathiel. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You would think.
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child. But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthiel? Investigating? For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing, and my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole that recently appeared. What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. I wouldn't draw such a harsh conclusion without substantial evidence. I can't understand why they're fascinated with the sinkhole, but that doesn't make them criminals. It's unusual for newcomers to encroach upon Altmer affairs, especially since we rarely saw any prior to the Queen's decree. If you want to investigate, I won't try to stop you. And if anything happens, maybe it will teach my son to avoid the place.
Raz wants to ask the Canon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijic and go investigate the sinkhole.
You there. You're new to Elenthiel, aren't you? You certainly look like an outsider. I regret the necessity, but I must beg your aid. My brother is about to make a terrible mistake and join an appalling organization. Worse, an acting troupe. The House of Reveries may be famous across Summerset, but my brother is one of the most gifted academics of our generation. For him to waste his talents performing for rich nobles is just irresponsible. I fear he's already signed up, and that's why I require you as an ally. I'll need you to infiltrate the acting troupe. Laredale, my brother, knows my face, but he does not know yours. You must find him for me so I can talk him out of this. Auriel himself would smile on your kindness. Now, we haven't a moment to waste. The House of Reveries is hosting auditions this very moment. You must present yourself to Alchemy, the audition master, and impress her with your performance. Well, they don't take just anyone. Only the most talented performers even get an audition, but don't worry, I've already devised a solution. I've enchanted a set of knives that will allow you to juggle with perfect rhythm. They would impress anyone. Oh, it's quite simple, really. Toss one in the air and relax your mind. Your hands will do the rest. I've used them a number of times and never cut myself, and I'm about as coordinated as a drunken mud crab. I'm certain you'll impress a sponsor. From what I understand, it starts with impressing a sponsor. A senior member of the House of Reveries selects applicants who they believe have demonstrated talent. They then train that applicant for a final audition in front of the Grand Maestro. It determines if you'll be accepted into the troupe or not. Not that you truly need to worry about that. As long as you acquire Alchemy as your sponsor and are allowed access to other hopefuls, you should be able to find out where Laredale is. In this case, Alchemy is a mer, not a practice. She's a member of the troupe and sponsor to the current potentials. They all have silly names like that. Banter, serenade, clever. Just another complication in our ever-eventful search. At first I tried to search for him myself, but Laredale is an even more powerful mage than I. He was able to obstruct any spell I cast to find him. I was able to track him here using more mundane means, but it set me back a month. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what is going through his head right now. For him to even consider wasting his talent on entertaining nobles with parlor tricks, why, it's simply unthinkable. What, and let this madness continue? No. Laredale is both a mage and researcher of extraordinary talents. He would be of great benefit to Summerset, perhaps even all of Tamriel. I just need to speak with him and I'm sure I'll convince him to leave. Laredale and I have studied magic all of our lives, and have found few who match our skills. I knew it only a matter of time before a great opportunity came along, but even I was shocked when we were invited to join the Sapiarchs. Yes, a rather rare and momentous occasion. You're currently looking at the new assistant to the Sapiarch of Artifice. Not a position to be taken lightly. But how does Laredale react to such incredible news? He runs away to join the theater. I have no idea. He just left a letter saying not to look for him. I suspect it's just nerves. I can't imagine leaving my brother behind to rot here in Relenthiel. I need to find him and help him see reason.
I'll meet you in the sinkhole.
You can do this, Ashala. You can. Oh, my stomach.
Well, I think that's quite enough.
Next.
Well done. Come, talk. No more auditions for today.
Oh, curses!
Of all the rotten luck.
My, you certainly do have a talent for juggling. One might almost say your hands work like magic. Tell me, why do you wish to join the House of Reveries? A wonderful answer, but it's not very creative, is it? I'd work on that. You'll want something more dramatic if you wish to impress the Grand Maestro. Still, I'd be happy to sponsor you for house membership, if you complete my challenge, of course. When we join the troupe, we abandon our old selves and take an identity reflected in our masks. What unique item suits you, I wonder? A griffin feather? Yes, that would be lovely. Go collect a feather and meet me in front of the Manor of Masks. Did I? Well, let's see. Have you taken a lover recently? What was their name? Oh, are you in a committed relationship, or was it a one-night tryst? Did you lift them to the heights of ecstasy, or leave them unfulfilled and disappointed? It's a question, isn't it? A personal question like yours, a question one stranger should never ask another in polite company. I have sponsored many in my time with the House of Reveries, just as one once sponsored me. Those names are theirs alone. Why, I put you through your paces. After all, I've deemed you worthy to perform for the Grand Maestro himself. Whether he offers you membership is beyond my ken, but I've never made the mistake of leaving him bored. See that you don't embarrass me. You may join us, if you wish. Cast aside your old life, become who you truly wish to be. Live for your art, for the stage, for the sound of applause. But you must never reveal your old identity. It is our only absolute. Have you happened to meet an artist in Summerset? Had that distinct pleasure? All they care about is fame. But within our troupe, we live only for our passion. To prove that devotion, we rid ourselves of the past and live only for the present. We always wear a mask. To your mother, you are an innocent child. To your lover, a sinful treat. A friend to your companions, a terror to your enemies. But many here find their true selves within their craft, within their passion. I know I have. Oh, not much, I'm afraid. I have many names, but my true name is spoken only in the dead of night, and only in the softest whispers. I am the daughter of a dragon, and a rather robust Telvanni. I spit fire and turn into a wyvern on the full moon. Only me, of course. I'm teasing you. I was actually born whole from the earth when a lonely sapiart cast a spell to create a wife. He was attractive, I'll give him that, but boring, so I left him with a mud pie and ran off to join the theater. Oh, you're no fun. I'm actually a simple farmer's daughter who learned to mimic voices when I was but a babe. A life of ploughs and livestock was not for me, sadly, so here I am. Do you understand? We can be anyone here. You can be anyone. You've returned intact. How wonderful. I was worried the griffin might have been a bit too much, but I see you're not one to be easily deterred. Good. Tell me, how did you acquire your most lovely feather? How exciting! That's a story worth repeating, I'd say. Dress it up a bit, add a talking frog or two, and you've got yourself a classic tale of subterfuge and adventure. And with this lovely feather, your mask is complete. Now's the time to don your mask and play the game of boasts. Talk with the other three hopefuls, perform together, and then ask each other one question. Your answers must be tales that can wow the crowd, a chance to bond and perfect your act. You'll find the other potentials inside our quarters, the Manor of Masks. We have a talented crop this week, but I'm certain you'll fit right in. Don't forget to wear your mask. We can't force you, of course, but why not get used to it?
I heard that you were able to procure Alchemy's sponsorship. Excellent. I see you've been given a Hopeful's mask as well. Such a quaint practice. Auriel knows our task would be far easier if they weren't a tradition. As twins, we share a striking resemblance, but all Hopefuls wear a mask. Still, I have a suggestion. We were attacked by a griffin when we were little. Laredale pushed me aside to save me and took a wound to his chest. He still has the scar. None come to mind. Say, why don't you take my journal? I've kept numerous notes on my interactions with Laredale, leading up to when he decided to leave for Relanthiel. Perhaps something in there will offer the clues you seek.
Welcome, fellow hopeful. What's your talent? Ventriloquism? Dancing? Oh, are you one of those illusionists I've heard so much about? No matter. You're here to play the game of boasts, aren't you? First, we must perform together. Alchemy didn't explain it. Well, I'm happy to share. First, we must perform as a team so we can learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. Should we both be lucky enough to join the troupe, we'll already know how to put on a performance. Well, let's start simple, shall we? I'll do what I do, and you'll do what you do. Join me and we'll see what we can do together. After that comes the fun part, the boasts. Well, that's the part I consider most fun. That was impressive! You've got quite the talent for juggling. Never could I do that myself. Tried it once and nearly sliced off a finger. Now to the questions. I'll start. Tell me, my deft-fingered friend, where did you grow up? Ha! Lived in a barrel! I love it! That must have been a spacious barrel, my friend. I imagine you felt like a sardine. All right, go ahead. Ask me anything. Oh, yes, all 6 of them. I grew up with a pack of wolves, you see. Lost my parents to a griffin attack when I was 2. But Mama took me in and taught me to hunt and fetch sticks. We still get together and hunt deer every other week. Hold on. That's 2 questions, isn't it? You only get 1. But here's a truth to match my boast. The House of Reveries is amazing! Performing every day, learning new tricks. Why, I used to have to sneak away every time I wanted to practice. Oh, you know how family is. If your ancestors weren't fire breathers, why would you want to be? Well, I wish you the best in your audition for the Grand Maestro. Here's hoping we both get in. Honestly, nothing would please me more.